Today on Ballistic Barbecue, I'm going to be cooking up Wagyu fried chicken. Let's get going. So this is a recipe I've been wanting to do a long time. I'm making a really good fried chicken and we're going to deep fry this in Wagyu tallow. I'm getting to test out my brand new deep fryer here, so fingers crossed, I'm sure it's going to work great. And I wanted to give a little credit. This recipe was heavily inspired by a restaurant out of Toronto, Canada called Stockyard Smokehouse. Unfortunately, while I was getting ready for this video, I just discovered that they went out of business permanently in 2022. But a little background, one of the copycat burgers I did, it's on this channel, and I think it's also, I put it over on my burger channel as well, was their butter burger. It's unlike any other butter burger, and to this day, it ranks up in probably my top 3 all-time favorite burgers that I've ever made, that I've ever eaten. So check that out, and it's really kind of bums me out that this company went out of business, this restaurant went out of business. But this chicken involves 24-hour brining, then a 24-hour marinade in a buttermilk mixture, and I'm going to kick it off with that brine recipe. We're going to kick the recipe off with 3/4 cup kosher salt, 2/3 cup sugar, and I'm using a finely ground raw sugar, 2 tablespoons pickling spice, 1 tablespoon whole black peppercorns, 4 bay leaves, 4 whole cloves of garlic, few rings red onion. Then I'm going to add 2 quarts of warm water. And I almost forgot about 3 sprigs of fresh thyme. Give this a stir. We want to get that salt and sugar dissolved. Then I'm going to add 2 quarts of ice water. Now we're going to add the chicken, and this is basically, well, it isn't basically, it's 1 whole chicken, and it's been broken down into 10 pieces. So what I did was I, cut those breast halves into half. So altogether, we're 10 pieces of chicken here. All right. Lid's going to go onto this container here, and it will go into the fridge for 24 hours. And here's the buttermilk marinade recipe. I have a little over 2 quarts of buttermilk, and to that I'm going to add 1 teaspoon kosher salt, 1 teaspoon cayenne pepper, 1 tablespoon sweet paprika, and 1 tablespoon lemon pepper. Give that a whisk. Now I'm going to add the chicken pieces just directly out of the brine into this mixture here. Right, what's going on? Back in the fridge for 24 hours. And here's that chicken after the marinade. I just took it out of the marinade, set it on this grate, and allowed it to drain over some paper towels. Now we're going to bread it. Here's that breading mixture. And this is all-purpose flour. I didn't measure anything, but I seasoned it with some Lowry seasoning salt, some black pepper, some white pepper, some paprika, and just a little bit of ground sage, and some dried thyme. Now, one of the twists I'm putting on this recipe is they're frying in, I think, canola oil, and I'm using Wagyu beef tallow. So I think this is going to be epic. Start that dredge. I'm going to go right into the flour here. Now, they just did a single dredge. I'm doing a double dredge. I like, a little bit of a thicker crust. So dredge it in the flour mixture. Then we'll go into the buttermilk mixture, then back into the flour. And I'm just going to continue doing that. Just remember which hand is wet hand. I always go right's the wet hand, left's the dry hand. And here we are, breaded and ready to go. So I'm just going to do a little bit of cleaning up around here. Then I'm going to hit the fryer, and I'm going to show you my new fryer while we're at it. And here's that fryer. This is made by a company called Vevor, and this is the SC101V model. Now, Vevor is a company, they make commercial products, and they're selling them at a very discounted price. I've done product reviews for them in the past, and I've been very, very impressed with the appliances that I've used. I wanted a good deep fryer, and the deep fryers I've owned have always been from the large chain stores, just very flimsy, and they've got those magnetic plugs that fall out if you breathe on them too hard. This thing is rated as, it's basically a countertop commercial grade fryer, and very impressed for the price. Let me give you some of the features here. So as you can see, this whole thing's made of stainless steel, has a drain spout that I'm not going to open right now because it's full of hot Wagyu beef tallow, but you just move this clockwise and then you can drain all the oil. Nice fitted lid here. Now, right now I am running my oil in here, but I'm just going to show you. You can tilt this back and you can remove the head here, but check out those coils. Those heat coils are amazing. And here's all our controls. We have the on-off switch, we have the power indicator and the heat indicator. This is not lit right now because we're running at my set temperature, and this only comes on when the heat element comes on. Temperature control goes both in Celsius and Fahrenheit. Celsius, it reads from 60 degrees Celsius to 200, and Fahrenheit 140 to 392. And I'm running this cook today at 330 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a timer, so you can set a timer. It goes from 0 to 60 minutes, or you can just turn it to on right here if you don't want to use the timer at all, which is what I'm doing. Basket is very sturdy, unlike the other baskets that I've had from, again, those big chain stores. I'm not going to mention their names, but it hangs on this bar here very securely. This fryer lists on Vevor full price $124.99, so $125. If you register, which is basically, it doesn't cost anything. All you're doing is creating an account so that your shipping information and payment information is already in there to make purchasing easier. That drops the price down to $106. And then Vevor gave me a discount code for an additional 5% off. All that information will be down in the description box. I'm ready for some chicken. Let's start cooking. All right, so I'm going to do this in batches. So when this chicken's done, it'll float to the surface, kind of start dancing around for us. But I'll also be checking with a thermometer, make sure it is done. All right, you can see the chicken giving us a little dance on the surface there. Right, it is done. She's up to drain. Look at that. And to prevent that sticking again, I'm going to go ahead and just drop this in. Here we go. That is beautiful. I don't think I've mentioned it, but this holds maximum of 9.5 quarts of oil. And I put in, it's about 9 1/4 quarts of beautiful beef tallow, that Wagyu beef tallow. There we go. Oh, that looks good. Look at that. All right, last piece. And here we are. Now all I need to do is set my chicken up on the cutting board here. We'll give it a try. And here it is, all laid out. This looks really, really good. Really good. Nice crispy crust. I love chicken. I love fried chicken. I think there's a song about that. Uber moist. Packed with so much flavor. Let me try a piece of the breast here. So I took the halves, the breast halves, and cut them each in half. This is the way I like to do it. KFC does it that way as well. But it just, that way those breast halves are so huge sometimes. It just makes it, that's a much more manageable piece there. Very moist. This thigh too. It used to be when I was young, I only ate the white meat. I've kind of grown to actually appreciate the darker chicken pieces better. That brining, it just makes such a difference, whether it's chicken or turkey. It just makes it so much more moist and flavorful, through and through. That buttermilk adds a really good flavor, but then also there's those enzymes in there that, are making meat more tender, but you're getting that nice kind of a little tang, that the buttermilk provides. This is so good. God, look how moist that is. It's beautiful. This is really good. It's hard to describe how tender that is. But again, there's just so many layers of flavors. That crust is so crunchy. And again, packed with flavors. Beef tallow, especially the Wagyu beef tallow, it adds another dimension of flavor. And remember, that used to be standard, not the Wagyu, but back in the day, animal fats were what we were frying in. KFC was using beef tallow. McDonald's was using beef tallow on their fries. Almost every fast food place was using beef tallow. And, the mom and pop places, the smaller places, they were using beef tallow. And sadly, it really started pushing towards the late 80s into the 90s. I might be getting the dates wrong, but they were pushing against saturated fats, which is what animal fat is saturated, into the trans fats, which is the seed oils. Saying it was healthier than this. And I'm not going to look at you and say that eating deep fried foods is healthy or anything, but it's been discovered that the seed oils are not good for you. The cooking in beef tallow and animal fats, it's way, way healthier for you than the seed oils. Look at that. That is just beautiful. This was a good cook. Really happy. Love this deep fryer. Love this chicken. Love you guys. Wow. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. If you're not subscribed, please consider hitting that sub button, ring the notification bell. Thumb it up if you like it. I hope you did. Keep the suggestions coming in if there's anything you'd like me to fry. I had planned on doing a side of Wagyu fried French fries with this. And I noticed, we had a bag of potatoes that I was going to take a potato from. Then this morning it dawned on me, oh yeah, my wife's making mashed potatoes for Thanksgiving. So I didn't want to do that. But anyway, c'est la vie. Thanks again for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.